So yes, I shaved it off.
It's just my opinion.
Yes, and how you doing, everybody? Welcome to Sway. That's right. Welcome to the channel where I give you my absolute honest opinion, and I don't give a flying. How you feel about it? As always, I have my trusty smokes, and today I don't have Coca-Cola. I ran out, but Pepsi. I'm not a Pepsi guy. And before I get started today, do not forget to hit like, make a comment, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification icon so you can be notified of every time that I post a video. And I'm a little extra shiny today. I should adjust these lights a little bit. But, yes, I finally shaved off the goatee beard thing that I've been pulling on for the past month or so. Main reason, not that anybody cared, but main reason is just that I was tired of having to just grease it every couple of days. I was tired of having to grease it every couple of days, and then like I'll grease it, right, to keep it moist and what have you. You use a beard grease, like a coconut oil like based, right, and then the next day I would have to really wash it and clean it because it'll get dried up and it looks like I had like spit in my goatee. So I was like, screw it, you know what, I can regrow it, and I'm going to regrow it. I just say that it's gonna be itchy when I start to regrow it. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff that's always going on. There's a lot of things that's always just going on. Whether it's in the news or whatever. It's interesting because I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but with the George Floyd case going on, they charged Derek Chauvin. I believe it was manslaughter. Let me look this up really quick. What charge did? Yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna. It says the jury in the Derek Chauvin trial has found the former Minneapolis officer guilty on 3 charges in the death of George Floyd. Chauvin was found guilty of 2nd-degree unintentional murder, 3rd-degree murder, and 2nd-degree manslaughter. That is, wow. I'm not, as a minority, a lot of, I've been asked about it. How do I feel about it? What are my thoughts about it? Obviously, it was wrong. It was wrong. There's a lot of things to the case. There was a lot of things to the case, and you take into the account of George Floyd being high on drugs. You take into the account a bunch of other things, and then you also take into the account what was actually happening at the time. Regardless of what, and I'll say it like this, regardless of what George Floyd's past history is, we're not, let's not really take that into the account as to what actually happened that night. Was George Floyd, One of the best out there? Hell no. George Floyd was not one of the best out there. One of the best people out there. But but we have to take into the account of what happened that day. Was it justified? Was it justified about what happened? It depends. It depends on who you ask. It depends on who you ask. They're saying that George Floyd was high on drugs, as it was when he tried to give the fake 20 to the cashier. I've seen some of the footage. I haven't seen all of it. So it's not like I can tell you, okay, well, I saw all the footage. I mean, I saw some of the footage. I didn't see all of it. You only see like the cell phone camera stuff, whatever. Not the body. I haven't seen the body cam footage. So I can't. I'm not gonna make a comment and tell you anything. Was it wrong for Derek Chauvin to keep his neck on his knee on George Floyd's neck? Yes. Whether that played a pivotal role in the death, you got people who call themselves experts on both sides. Some saying yes, others saying no. It's I'm not was it Derek Chauvin's intention to kill him? Excuse me. Was it his intention to kill him? I would say that is a possible yes, because they do have a history of working together at a nightclub, working security. Chauvin being an off-duty cop, working security, as well as George Floyd being a bouncer at the club. Is it very possible that there was some kind of animosity between the two? Yes. Yes. I mean, so is it possible? Is it possible that George Floyd's death was intentional? Yes. Yes, it was. So am I glad that Derek Chauvin, he got charged? Yes. I'm absolutely glad. I'm happy about that. I think altogether, going back into the Trayvon Martin case, where George Zimmerman was released, he was let go, that was messed up. That was extremely messed up. George Zimmerman should have been charged, and he should have been given a life sentence or something. Going back, and a lot of this goes back even further. A lot of this animosity between the BLMs, the BLM people, supporters, and with the police departments and whatever, it goes back years of just a lot of pent up frustration, and where, yes, you do have dirty cops that have gotten away with murder. So I mean, does the conviction of Derek Chauvin heal anything? No, it doesn't. But it's a start. It's a start on where we can hold where we can hold bad police officers accountable for the crap that they do. Not every police officer is a bad cop. No, I mean, I've met many who are just wonderful. I've met many who are dicks. I'll say it like that. But you know, the other three police officers that were there, then it goes to question why they didn't do something when they saw that Derek Chauvin's knee was on George Floyd's neck. And more than likely, they're going to be charged and prosecuted with, you know, accessory to a murder. Again, you know, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just voicing my opinion, as I always do. It's again, does it heal up every wound that was struck to the black and brown community? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's a start. It's a start in the right direction, where we do need to hold dirty cops accountable. You know, I support the police. You know, I support the police. I do. I'm not a person that hates all cops or anything like that. I support the police. And there is a First Amendment auditor, I'm a guest at press, that he says, you know what a good cop's worst enemy is? A bad cop, a dirty cop. You know, I think if anything, history has shown and has proven that a lot of the dirty cops, a lot of the bad cops get away with their crap because you don't have, you know, and this goes from every level, from just a street beat cop to a chief of police or what have you. It's because when you have a dirty cop doing bad things, there's no cop, no good cop stepping in and putting a stop to it, either because of a brotherhood thing or for fear of losing their job or something. And then it probably goes up even higher up in the ranks too, you know, with like internal affairs or what. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But do cops need to be held accountable for things? Yes. It's like with the damn, I forgot her name now. The female cop. Let me look that up. Male. There you go. Give me 1 second. It was in the Daunte Wright shooting. Julia Cruz. CREWS, and it's all over the news, so I can. But she supposedly mistook a taser for her weapon, for her sidearm. Now I'm not a cop. I'm not a cop. I'm going to say it. I am not a police officer. I'm not a cop. But from what I do know, many departments, and many all across the United States of America, they go through intensive training for a short amount of time, and now this police officer, she was a 26-year veteran in the force, supposedly with a bunch of accolades and awards and what have you, and in a stressful situation, she mistook her sight piece for a taser. And I said this before on a post. And I'm going to say it. She was a 26-year vet on the force who has extensive training to keep cool under pressure, has a side piece as well as the taser, and she was in the excuse she uses that she mistook the taser for the gun. That is not an excuse. That is a BS bullshit excuse. That's BS. First and foremost, the materials that they are made, and I'm not an expert by any means, but a gun, a side piece, a firearm is made out of metal. Taser is like a very hard plastic. The general shape is very, very different. Where a taser is thicker, you cannot, and the handle of the sidearm, it's smaller. So this will be the taser, this will be the sidearm, more or less on handle wise. If to say that you mistook one for the other is a bunch of crap. Okay? Now, if, let's say, she says, oh, well, because my nerves were all over the place or whatever, then she shouldn't be a police officer. I mean, as it is, and I've said this before in many conversations, police officers, generally, they don't have that much training. Now, if they're former military, and they've seen action, and even if they haven't seen action, but they're former military, they know how to keep calm under pressure. Okay? But many people who become police officers who have no military background, generally speaking, they only get something like 6 to 8 months of training before they're put on a beat, and with a partner too, so they can learn and what have you. I think, and I've said this before, if an attorney has to spend 8 years in law school to learn how to defend our rights and learn how to defend our rights and many other things, then a police officer needs to spend more than 6 to 8 months to do the same thing, to protect our rights. They need to spend more than that. Yes, I get it. Some police departments, they continuously have workshops every month and what have you for more training for other things and what have you. But I think, generally speaking, especially with police officers who do not have a military background, they should spend more than 6 to 8 months. If Julia Cruz wants to use the excuse of, oh, I was, freaked out and my nerves were shut, then she shouldn't have been a cop. She shouldn't be a cop. But, 26 years on the force with supposedly with a bunch of accolades and awards and what have you, there's no excuse. The sidearm is on one side, the taser's on the other side. They both have a different feel. I mean, I don't own guns. I don't own guns. I've never owned a gun, but I've held guns. I've held guns. I've held them. I've also held tasers. And unless your skin, the skin on your hands, unless like your fingerprints and everything has been burnt off or something or whatever, you should be able to feel the difference between a handgun and a taser. Now my hands are shot. I'm gonna tell you like this. My hands are shot. My hands are shot, but you know, like certain things I can't feel. Like, you know, it's like if you know if somebody gives me a fake 20 and if I don't have the marker or if I don't look up and, you know, put it up to the light, I won't be able to feel like the difference between a fake 20 and a real 20 or whatever. So I do have some kind of handicap with my hands, but because my hands are shot, but I can still feel the difference between a side piece and a taser, especially the size difference in the handle. And I've said this before, if Derek Chauvin didn't get charged, there was going to be a riot. And I believe it was right in Minnesota. I believe it was in Minnesota. Where they, let me see if I can find the article, but no, I can't find it. But what it is that many you know, right there in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, the governor, I believe, yeah, the governor, he called up on the National Guard to go to the Capitol just in case, just as a just in case Chauvin was in charge and they let him go and there's going to be a riot. And I believe that's happened all over the country in many areas where they were getting ready. They were getting ready. Mind you, it can still happen. It can still happen because what if they don't charge the other 3 officers? What if they don't charge the other 3 officers? So it's a real battle happening between one side and the other side. It's a real division thing. And, you know, I know many people on both sides, and I know many people on both sides who make great points. And unfortunately, as I've said it before, when it comes down to it, nobody listens to anybody. Nobody's listening to each other. They're not really trying to. As far as the Derek Chauvin thing, you know what? I'm glad he got charged because regardless of what, he shouldn't have had his knee on George Floyd's neck. That's my opinion. But there's so much stuff going on. There's so much stuff, you know, and I don't comment on things like that, you know. As I said before, the one thing that we should be fighting together on and agreeing on is, you know what, hatred and racism. And so that's going to be it for this video. I got a couple more planned out, hopefully for next week. I'm trying to get a couple more interviews. It's just been delayed due to my hectic schedule. But until next time, just remember, I'm Sway. Love you all. Peace.
It's just my opinion.